In this second video, we're looking at verifying trig identities. It's much like the first video. I will tell you that WebAssign is probably going to be looking for more converting to sine and cosines and then using algebra manipulations. For example, tangent is sine over cosine. It's going to be kind of tricky to look at it online because instead of selecting the reduced form, it's going to try to guide you along the way. But anyway, when you spot your trig functions, write them in terms of sine and cosine, and then when you start canceling, I'm going to try to do this in a light color, like your sines will cancel, your cosines will cancel. If everything cancels, then it goes to 1. But you're going to be trying to make one side look like the other. I guess the main theme of these, we're going to try to write the larger side. You want to start working with the more difficult side. Write things in terms of sine and cosine, and then try to make it, through manipulation, look like the easier side. So we'll just go right to it. Tangent times cotangent. Now we know they're reciprocals, so you could actually cancel tangent times cotangent and put 1. But the way you're going to be guided on WebAssign is you'll be expected to change tangent to sine over cosine. Cotangent will be cosine over sine. Let me try to write that a little better. That looks terrible. Cotangent is cosine over sine. And then finally, all that will be over sine. Much like we did in the example above. In fact, it's identical in the numerator. Those will all cancel down to a 1. And that reduces to 1 over sine x. And that is equal to cosecant due to reciprocal identities. In this example, the more difficult side, 1 plus sine alpha times 1 minus sine alpha, we can multiply that with FOIL method. First times first, outside, inside, last, and I can put the letters in here. That'll help guide us on where we've been. So that was first, outer, inside, last. The O and the I cancel each other because they have opposite signs. So these I'm just going to lightly knock out, leaving us with 1 minus sine squared alpha. Well, from your Pythagorean identities, those two are actually equal to cosine squared. And this is just a reminder, if you take an existing identity and correctly manipulate it, you have another identity that you can use. And the example at the bottom, we can factor out, well, no, we're not going to factor anything out. I'm just going to write this as 3 times 1 over cosine times cosine. We'll get a nice little cancellation here with the cosines, and all that's left over is 3. So this one was very quick. Okay, so the main things to remember for this particular section, And the way that WebAssign is going to try to guide you through an identity verification is change as much as you can into terms of sine and cosine, and also work from the harder side of the equation given and try to make it look like the easier side given.